Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to finally an episode of Let's Talk Frank. I have been out of commish for a long time. Why? Because I've been working on other goals. I'm happy to say that finally have reached that point in my career now where now I can commit all this time to getting back, bringing you great content, interviewing great people and interesting characters, specifically the one we're going to talk to today. But I'm super excited to welcome a friend of mine, somebody I've known for a very long time, who now is working as a comedian and building himself up to really promote himself and to help others in the community as well, and specifically in that community as well. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about that. But I want to welcome to the show, Brian Couto.
Thank you, brother.
How's it going, man?
Great, and I'm really glad to be back at your back. You're back. It's been so long.
I'm back. You know, I'm like what's his name? Bringing sexy back.
Oh, you're like Justin Timberlake.
Justin
yeah.
Timberlake.
Well, he's a kind of we don't know if he's getting canceled yet, so he's on the fence.
Well, he's going to be one of those on the Jeffrey Epstein list, right?
Oh my God, everyone's on that list. I would have been on that list if I would have done this 20 years ago. Come on.
You know what? I think I was going down that list too, but we'll talk a little bit more of what I'm doing now. But because part of the reason why I feel like a lot of people would have been on that list was not being able to manage their urges and having control over their mind. But we'll dive a little bit deeper into that topic in just a sec. But anyway, Brian, why don't you tell us what you're up to now, kind of how you got into this journey. Let my viewers know exactly who you are, and then I'll kind of share a little bit how we got to know each other, and
that's hilarious.
Maybe some surprise questions there. Who knows?
Yeah, we didn't practice for this at all. We just wanted to go off the cuff because we wanted to be natural.
You know what? Authenticity
and real,
is the best. Is the best, and that's Frankie Nux, right? Like, you know me, right?
Frankie Nux. You know, we all had wicked nicknames.
I'd say they were alter egos because I had it was ironic because I was talking with a buddy of mine the other day, and he's like, "Bro, you had like 3 alter egos." Yeah. There was Francisco, the little suave, suave Latino. You know what I mean, with that 1-2 punch. You know,
on the dance floor, killer on the dance floor, killer on the dance floor.
And then, well, you got to, you know what I mean. And but again, that was the alter ego, right? Yeah. And then there's Frankie Nux, Frankie Knuckles.
The ladies' man.
That was more so like the ego.
Yeah,
that was like the guy who walked around. I walk into a room and
start talking shit.
And just
but you had that arrogant look. You had that look.
Well, confidence maybe.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And see, we grew up in the era of nightclubs. We had some fantastic nightclubs. We had huge nightclubs. We had the Government downtown, crazy.
It was like
downtown Cambridge,
crazy. Was beautiful.
There was Palazzo. Was another one.
That was when I turned 19. Right?
Yes.
That was like the first club we went. And
yes.
We
I'm getting shivers right now talking about these clubs.
Beautiful. It looked like a fucking like the Coliseum. Not the Coliseum. What the Parthenon.
Oh, the one with the pillars, the big pillars. Yeah. It looks so cool.
It was such a cool place.
It was huge.
Was it in Vaughan or Woodbridge?
I think it was. I want to say Vaughan.
Yeah. No,
it was right off the.
It was Woodbridge actually. A little bit further down.
It was right off the highway. I know that. You could see it from the 407 or thing.
That's right. It was huge.
Buddy.
It was huge.
Those
lights.
And the thing is, when we would go, we would get dressed up, right? I was a construction worker all week, but on Friday night, Saturday night, I was
fucking.
You know what I mean?
Cologne,
I was dangerous to Couto back in the day. Hey, let's go! Hey, you know what I mean? I was dangerous, and just
But that's the mindset, right? Because you know, like. Being out of the city, we didn't live in Toronto.
No, we lived in Cambridge, which was an hour out.
About an hour, you know what I mean. So it was close enough to go.
But that was our regiment. Like every week would be a regiment. Like where's everybody going? We were known as the Cambridge crew. We were part of the Cambridge crew. There was 50 of us that used to come from Cambridge.
Manzone and Strong, they still perform to this day. Whenever I see Joe Manzone, like he still kind of recognizes me, but I'm like Cambridge crew's like. That's right.
Yes, famous Cambridge crew. We know how to party.
And we partied hard,
We partied hard. So there was a lot of, but this was like, I was in my 20s when this all first started. And I came from a home of I was sheltered.
Yeah,
I wasn't allowed past street lights.
Strict Portuguese.
Yeah.
Same with me. Like we're very similar. My background is Spanish. My parents were super strict. I don't even have a tattoo. Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, me neither. No tattoos,
Hey,
no nothing.
look at
No
this,
nothing.
yeah.
I had a tongue ring.
One of the few.
I had a tongue ring
Mohicans.
for like a summer, and my parents never seen it. I was like, you know what? I had a good run. Take it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I have a piercing of one ear. That's I can feel the piercing still, but I don't really wear it. Yeah.
Sorry.
So that's the one thing. I got one shot.
No tattoos, no beard, no man bun. Sorry.
Yeah, I got the man bun. Don't worry. Yeah, the hair, huh? So this is another thing too. This all started. Okay, so comedy and this all started around the same time.
Okay.
So during the pandemic, I went to go see a show. Mike Rita was doing Stoner Sundays in Toronto, and shout out Planet Paradise, closed down already. It's been closed for about a year now. But he would do shows on Sundays there. And it was a smoking lounge. We could smoke inside. So it was crazy.
Oh,
it was,
wow.
yeah.
How were they
So
getting away with that?
they were getting away with it because it was a heritage building. So the police couldn't bust the doors down, basically.
Amazing.
Yeah, this place, Al Capone used to, during the liquor, when Prohibition, Al Capone or whatever would go there. And get liquor and stuff. And
you know that he used to be in Guelph a lot, right?
Yeah,
Sleeman. Yeah, I met John Sleeman the third.
Isn't that crazy?
When I used to work at Langdon Hall. And I actually got to chat with him, and I told him, I'm like, dude, I love your commercials. I think it's amazing. And he's like, yeah, the marketing team came up. He's like, and let me tell you, all those stories are true. There's tunnels all over Guelph, downtown Guelph, that lead to the original
brewery,
to the originals.
See?
There still exists.
Necessity.
Yeah, like because everything was very hush hush, and when you're dealing with somebody of that stature, right?
Yeah.
Like
And that's the thing. Underground economy is crazy. How it fuels. They said the only thing that didn't slow down during COVID was the underground economy. Yeah. It actually went up because people are at home now, so everyone's doing drugs and drinking and doing stupid shit. And so it was a tough. This shutdown was tough on all of us. But I went to one of the shows, and I was watching his show, and I was seeing some of the people going up, and he used to give chances to up and coming comedians.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
like an open mic. Okay.
Yeah, not really open mic, but he would, it's like 20 comedians would show up, and he'd pick like 5 or 6 of them to go up that night. Yeah, you know what I mean? And if he didn't take too long on the mic, he put 8 or 9 guys up. But sometimes Mike Rita, because it's his show. Yeah. And everybody was there to see him. Like everybody else was just lucky that they're getting on their show with a crowd. Because he would sell out all the time. You know what I mean? Mike Rita's good. Like shouting.
Well, when you started posting his content,
yeah,
I started seeing who Mike Rita was, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, so I did turn a lot of people on to Mike Rita because even though he's famous in the Portuguese community, there's still lots of people that don't know him. Like now, because we're talking 5 years ago, so from 5 years to now, his popularity he's increased tenfold. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
He's got great talent.
Yeah,
he's hilarious.
And I've seen him take. And here's the thing: he would have up and coming comedians, and sometimes they'd fucking bomb. And so he would come up and like, okay, but and he'd get the crowd back. Yeah. And everyone's like, go crazy and then it's okay. Now your next performer is bang. And sometimes the next guy would suck too, but he was good enough that he could make the crowd love him, like this side, laugh that side. Like he would bring out.
He just knew how to handle.
He just knew how to handle everybody in the room, and so it was a big shot for me when I approached him and I said, hey, listen, I'd like to start maybe just introducing the show, like in the beginning of the show, kind of introducing you because he's the host. Mm-hmm. So just like turn off your cell phones. I don't want to hear your Justin Bieber ringtones. Little joke like that.
Or Taylor Swift, right?
Now, 5 years ago it was Bieber still. And, just a little thing like that, and it kind of warmed up, and I started saying little jokes and stuff, and using my voice to, announce them, and just from there is where I started getting the love for it. Awesome. I started going to other comedy shows, too, and I would notice the show was missing. The part of the show, like, okay, you got comics and everything, but there's no show. Like,
there's no, the MC, right? Like, the one that brings it together. Like, the Oscars, they do it. They always get some big talker now. They've started to realize
they've been using a lot of stand-up comedians now.
Exactly.
Even though
the value in that is really, it's real. Right?
Even though and here's the thing with stand-up comedy, and I started doing stand-up comedy, too, because it's the only art, I guess all art, but it's not censored or shouldn't be censored. right? So it's free
It's
speech.
like you can get away with
It's
saying
free
things that you
speech.
normally wouldn't be able
Correct,
to.
because when I'm on stage, I'm not, Brian Couto, surname, I'm thing.
Yeah.
It's Brian Couto. It's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
character,
Yes.
and I'm doing my thing, and I'm not there to make anyone feel bad. I'm there to make everybody laugh. Forget about your stuff. You know what I mean? I don't really like to do too much political stuff or world crisis stuff because we're all
Find a
there.
niche. Yeah, exactly.
We're all there to have fun. So I'll make fun of myself. I'll make fun of things that I've seen, my life experiences. My life is a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's fun enough as it is.
Everybody's life's a movie, right?
Yeah.
But you gotta, you're your own director.
Yeah.
And you gotta direct where you want to go, right?
Yeah, and you have to be the main character in your movie. If you take anything out of this whole interview, okay, think of your life as you're watching a movie and you're the main character, right? So what do you want to happen in the end of that movie? Right? Where do you want that character to go? And if you look at life that way, I think your perspective on how you do your daily tasks will change.
You're right. Almost like living knowing that you're not guaranteed tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 1 week to live, what would you do in that 1 week, right?
Yeah, well, hold on a second. If I only had 1 week, I'd be doing things a little different. I wouldn't be on the couch with you right now. I'm just saying.
Well, he tried to be on top of me right now. Sorry, when I use that analogy, what I'm trying to say is that you have 1 week to live. All of a sudden, what would you do? Would you go take that bungee jump? Would you jump out of an airplane? Would you do the stand-up? Go to an open mic and do that stand-up? Because you know what? That fear is gone because guess what? You don't have that time anymore. Like that, it's so mental. You feel like you have so much time, and then all of a sudden you live a lifetime and you get to that point, you're like, holy shit, I didn't fucking do anything. I didn't live.
And so going back to our 20s, like when we first met, we were very different people than we are now, right?
We were very different. Now, I don't know how comfortable he would feel about it, but the first time I met this guy, and
I forget the first time we met. Like, where were we? Club or what? What?
See, this is what's good, folks. So the first time I met Brian, you know that saying where nothing good happens after 2 a.m.? Well, through a mutual friend, I had a mutual friend that I was hanging out with at the time, and he took me over to your place. And it was past 2 a.m. And let's just say that nothing good was happening that night. You know
oh my God.
So,
you guys came to check out to see if I was awake, if there was anything, going on after.
You were there to pick up something, but not
my God.
Not anything to brag about.
Oh my goodness. You came to borrow a cup of sugar.
Excuse me, do you have any sugar?
Hey, at 2 a.m, you better not come and borrow it. You better have money for that shit. I'm just saying.
So,
no way. That's how we first met.
So
holy shit.
So this guy is like, this guy has not changed. Okay, just so you guys know, so I can build the context. He has always been full of fucking energy, like just.
Oh, okay.
And when I first met this guy, yo, what's up, man, yo? And then he's telling me stories about fucking triads, this and fucking knocking down doors, and I'm like, yo, this is the fucking coolest gangbanger I've ever met in my life. You know what I mean? Like, this guy was mad cool.
Fucking gangbanger polka dot door, like get along gang. Like, oh my God.
It's fucking those experiences now that I look back on them, like, yeah, I'm not like proud of it, right? But at the same time, and I'm sure you probably would feel the same. But man, those are what build us. That's what build our character. That's what build like, that confidence and that, you know what I mean? That ego, you know what I mean? We've been through all that shit.
Yeah.
You know
and it's crazy because you say that and I go back to it. Like, okay, so I started doing comedy because I didn't see the show part of it, like the show, right? And the same thing when it came to, like weed was illegal, right? Even weed was illegal. So I learned at a young age that if you just grabbed in quantity, it was a lot cheaper. So me and my friends would all pool our money together, and that's how it kind of started. You know what I mean? That's how it started. Plus, then I seen once we started getting into different things, like party drugs. Okay, I noticed that some of the dealers were using it as a tool to make people do what they want. And
okay, so elaborate on that.
so they were extorting people with party drugs.
Okay.
So, oh, you want this, but you don't have money for it? Well, I got an idea. Why don't we go in my room here by ourselves and you pay me for that right now? Do you know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Gotcha,
And then
yes, yeah.
I started seeing stuff like everyone's having fun in a room, and there's one girl that the two dealers are like, oh yeah, you want some of this? Well, then let's go mess around
Together.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So when I started seeing that kind of stuff, it made me feel like, whoa, this is ugly. So I at least provided a safe area for everybody to come. I used to have husbands and wives come to me and like, hey, don't tell my husband I was here, and they'd leave, and 20 minutes later the wife shows up. Hey, don't tell. You know what I mean? I had friends who hadn't seen each other in like 15 years. They were high school friends, and one guy was leaving my house, the other one was coming in. They're like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen." You know what I mean? So, like for real, at one point there was a lot of people that would come and see me.
Yeah, that's an interesting story, actually. Yeah,
and it was because it was safe and it was comfortable, and and I wouldn't fuck around because I wouldn't I wouldn't give people things I wouldn't do myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Gotcha.
Where other people are trying to make money off it and making it ugly, and so that's why, you know what I mean? I only stopped because I was making enough. I was making $1,000 a day. Okay, so I was okay. For me, that's enough.
At that time,
right?
Like
even if only half,
20 years ago,
even only if half was profit.
Yeah.
Right. Still, I had a few checks of mine, like from work, and I left them in my drawer. I didn't even need them. So the life was good. Don't think and I never got in trouble for any of it, nothing, because I kept good people around me. Mm-hmm. I would cut people off if they were like, I would counsel people even at that, which is crazy. Yeah. Because it's like, no, listen, you got to chill the fuck out. And I keep them at my house longer. You know what I mean? I get people to like clean my house and stuff just to stay, you know what I mean?
So they can
just
probably wind down.
And like, I don't want to just send you out of the road. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So it was like,
because that could come back to you, right?
And that's the thing. And it was it was different than back then. Nothing I would give anybody would ever kill them if they took too much. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Especially with fentanyl being mixed into.
As soon as that stuff started coming, and I was already way out by the time that started coming, out, because I had a daughter. She was a young age, and one day it kind of hit me, and I was like, you know what? What if I'm feeding the monster right now by being supplying people. I'm feeding the monster. So what if this monster turns around and starts eating my family? What if my daughter gets hooked on this stuff? And she's not getting it from me, she's getting it from someone who's using her now. Do you know what I mean? Like, thank God, my daughter, she's 22 now. She's got a great life. She's got her little career. She's got a, loving partner. He has a really nice family. She's really good. But life could have went sideways.
100%.
Yeah. My parents and I took custody of my daughter early on, like when she was still a baby. Yeah. And it's tough raising. I had my sister and my mother helping me a lot. They did most of the raising. Yeah. I was at work during the week. Mm-hmm. They did most of the raising. Thank God for them. But still, it's not the same. It's not. And I know that, like, I'll never get time back. Like, I'll never get time back of holding my daughter as a baby and doing a lot of stuff with her as a child, because she wasn't. I would get home late from work, and it wasn't like she was in my house. You know what I mean? When she was a little bit older, then she could stay with me. You know what I mean? Sometimes I had a girlfriend, and she would, But it's tough. The whole relationship thing is tough too. Dating with a kid is hard. I know. Because your partner is thinking, "What? I'm gonna raise another kid? Are you crazy?" Yeah. Right? It's not even my kid. Like, I didn't make this thing. Well, I gotta pay for. You know what I mean? So,
but it's mindset too. But no, you're right.
Yeah, it's a very right.
There is a factor and a stigma behind it.
Yeah,
well,
and so I couldn't ask. I think like some of my girlfriends were like more than, oh my god, like because she was a wonderful kid. My daughter was the best kid. Yeah, never complained. She was a great kid. She wasn't right. She was awesome. Mm-hmm. She just wanted to be around me so much. So it was great. But that's the thing. You know what I mean? it was tough. So this whole lifestyle and everything added to that.
Yeah.
And so eventually I was like, you know what? I got to cut this out.
What I'm taking from that story, though, is like how valuable that experience was for you, because without that, maybe you would have not have had that realization, right?
Well, I know that nowadays, because the drugs, homeless, mental health is so rampant. It's rampant now, and I can deal with it.
Can't go to any town, because I travel for a
Yeah.
living. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
I go from Canada, West Coast mostly now, but I've seen it from east to west. Every city is riddled by the same problem, and it's so unfortunate because it's getting worse, and nobody's doing.
Like, we've always had homeless people, but I mean,
well,
not like this, not this amount, not in this bad a shape.
So let me tell you this story. I'm also Costa Rican, so I go back to Costa Rica quite a bit, and I used to see my first experience with homeless people was always in Costa Rica, in San Jose, you know what I mean, in the capital. And I would always see tons of homeless people. Now I go there, I barely see, there's some, of course, but I barely see
any homeless people.
Like
and why is that?
I don't know what it is. In that, well, again, maybe I'm not traveling to the same spots because like you see.
Because here in Ontario, there's only one place I haven't seen homeless people yet, and I'm not even going to say where it is so the homeless people don't go there. But there's only one place that I've seen, but every other place is riddled.
Thank him, the neighbors.
But that's the thing. So it's riddled, and I don't think I can, like, right now I can look at someone's face and I can tell you what drug they're on. Yeah. I can tell you if they're drunk. I can tell you what, just by, even if I've never met the person before.
Can you tell what drug I'm on right now?
You're on life. You're on the drug of life right now. Right?
Stay with you, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
My name is Chloe Shelton, and this is how I get ready for women comedy, because women are funny.
Let's go! I went to rehab a few years ago, and that changed my life as well. Listen, if you're not ready for rehab, don't go. Don't waste people's time and money. Just fucking really, and even if you think you're not ready, if there's anything you value in this world, go get help.
You know what? Another thing too that obviously is really important in regards to that is, you know, you have your family, for example, that want to help you, and you know how your family is. Sometimes they're a little more hard on you. And when you're not ready and people are like, hey, you need to go work on yourself, you need to do this. You know, that's like hearing nails on a chalkboard. It's like, you know, you can't stand it because you're not ready.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's something too that as family members, we have to be careful. Like, I also have a very helping side of me where I definitely want to try to help. Like, this is the reason why I have this platform. I want to help people. And I've realized recently too that the more I try to intervene and I try to help people,
it almost makes it worse.
Yeah, it does make it worse.
Yeah, it almost makes it worse.
It makes you look like you're better than them, and they take it that way, and you're not.
If you think of it as fishing, and you're fishing someone, like, the bigger the person's drug problem or alcohol problem or addiction problem, whatever their problem is, because everybody has problems, whatever the bigger it is, if you really want to help them, you got to think of it almost as fishing. And you're fishing a big shark, right? Because that addiction controls you. It's, if anyone has never felt the power and control of addiction, I'm going to explain it. It's, you can't control it. You just almost, it's crazy. You get sick, you shake, it's insane. So if you're trying to help somebody, as soon as you say, oh, look, you're drunk again. Oh, look at you. I can tell. Look, they're going to, like, and want to take off.
Triggered.
Yeah, it's almost like they want to take off. So when you're wrestling like a big fish, you know what I mean? You let them swim and get tired. Pull them in slow, and they don't even notice that you're pulling them in. And when you pull them in, you're just being nice to them. You're trying to, you don't give them money to go get more drugs. You let them know that what they're doing is wrong, 100%. But you're just, I don't know, you make them feel safe, and then you got to make them realize that a life of sobriety, a life with family and friends and everything is worth way more than whatever that is giving you. Yeah. And every time you do that, you're just shortening your life. and you're wasting your time, because it's not even just doing it, it's paying for it. You wasted hours working for that money. Now it's gone. You got to wait to go get it. It's a big runaround. You might get arrested on the way. Like, there's so many risks that you're all stressed out by the time you do the drug that you're already bad vibing.
Exactly.
And you don't even enjoy it.
Well, I want to tie it back to what you were saying earlier about your daughter. Like, those moments that you're never going to hold your daughter down, right? Those moments, you skip past those moments because you were just so consumed by that addiction, right? And I'm not saying that happened in your case. I'm just
like,
saying
I still spent time with her, but it wasn't enough for me as a father, my only child. It wasn't like I was having more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You never know, though.
You never know, but I don't think so. Like, if I'm not a betting man, but I don't know if there's a woman out there to let me get her pregnant.
Robert De Niro.
Hey, what are you talking to me or what?
You know what it is.
But without getting too much off track, that's kind of why I left that whole life. And as soon as I did, I felt things change. Even in comedy, when I went to comedy, I wasn't fully cured. And it's an addiction battle is for your life. It's your whole life. You're fighting it your whole life.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Now
I'll
just
say something later.
My head is different. That I don't crave it all because I'm disgusted by it all.
I've been around it. Like, that's how we met. Like, we met doing no good things. You know what I mean? So he's right. It's almost like you have this passenger that walks with you the rest of your life. The difference is now is awareness. You got to remember that awareness. He has the awareness now that he knows when he's around it. He's like, hey, my friend, I like you, man. But you stay over there. I stay over here. I sip on my coffee.
Yeah.
We have a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're constantly going to be battling that in your mind. But the only difference is now you have the awareness. Because you know, shit, if I do this, I'm going to be up till 5 o'clock in the morning. Maybe even later or earlier. You know what I mean? I'm going to miss out on my responsibilities that I have to do tomorrow. Like, you know, now that you have this going for you in your life,
that's
you
what
have
I was saying,
responsibility. You know
so,
what I mean?
so with the comedy, I wasn't 100%, free, like addiction free when I was doing comedy. But then what I started doing is like, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to start doing comedy. I got a show in a month. Okay, well, I shouldn't do anything for at least a week before, or at least a month before, or at least, you know what I mean? So then that started happening, and then
building systems, building those his own boundaries.
Yes.
And again, these are kind of the things that are really important because I'm going to be working with men too. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah. But building, this is like an example of him building his own system in his mind in order to get himself ready.
And I think going to rehab, it taught me a lot of what rehab will teach you. It'll give you the tools, right? So that was the first thing. So then it started, the value of my life was worth more than what the substance was going to give me, right? And so as soon as I started having value of life and purpose.
Yes.
Purpose. You need to have purpose. I learned purpose a few years ago, and it didn't really stick. But then using it for this,
didn't really learn it then.
I didn't really learn it. Yeah, I heard it, but I didn't really. It didn't really touch me. And
but
then
a seed was planted.
It was planted, and then when I started learning something else, then that came back, and I was like, oh yes, it makes so much sense. So you got to value your life, and you have to have purpose, right? You know, some people say you got to give into like a higher power. Sure. But it starts right here. You're the power too. You got to remember that we're all creators in our mind. We're all, if I go into a room, I can change that room. I have that power to change the room, bring sunlight into that room, bring 100%. Chaos into that room. You know what I mean?
Fucking love that. Because you're so right. You're not bounded by your thoughts or your personality. Like, you know, just because you have like a bitch face and you walk into your room and you don't fucking talk to nobody, you're fucking in control of that shit. You know, you can, like you just said, you can walk into the room and you can say, you know what, I'm going to smile and I'm going to go out and I'm going to make conversations, or I'm going to try to make people laugh, make people feel welcome. That's in your control, and that's 100% correct.
And so another thing besides another thing that started my comedy career and wanting to entertain people is I was being haunted. I'd wake up in the morning, like haunted, like, why aren't you doing something with your life? What are you doing with your life? You're just doing what normal stuff. Like, come on, wake up. And I would like, and then it was just that little shot. I just needed a little gleam of hope. And then I started, I've been producing my own comedy shows now for 2 years now.
Yes. And I got to go to one, which...
Yeah.
Anyway.
My birthday party you went to, right? Yeah. Sold out. 2 shows sold out.
I got to sit in the family VIP.
Yeah.
Treated me like
that
royalty.
There was the only spot left was right there in the VIP spot. This guy shows up fashionably late.
You know,
Hey,
fashionably
my cousin's like, who's that? And I'm like, that's my friend Frank. Oh yeah, he can sit right here. I'm like, all right, I guess.
Again, it's not...
Shout out to my cousin for making spots over here. My cousin Kelly.
You walk into a room, you change the chemistry by how you walk into it.
Of course.
Right?
You also have that ability when you walk in, you're a smiley guy, you're nice.
100%.
Yeah.
Same with Saab, because there was a lot of people that I knew and a lot of faces that I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
There's some people from high school, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. It was crazy.
But again,
such a melting pot.
You have that control, man. And don't fucking let anybody put out that light. If somebody's trying to put out that light... Tell him to fucking
beat it.
Va cagar, man.
You know what? Don't even tell him anything. Just don't even put energy to it. That's what I do too. Like on stage, if there's a heckler, if it's a good heckle, maybe I'll make it. Maybe I'll do something. But if it's like just like blah blah, then I'll just ignore it and keep going. And eventually, everyone will give that person bad looks.
Yes.
Like shut the fuck up. You know, I used to
tricks of the trade. Though,
yeah.
right?
Now see, what it is tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
Now in the beginning, when I first I learned a lot. Like, I know I've only been around 5 years, but I've been making people laugh since I was 7 years old, right? But I really started...
he's the coolest banger I've ever met. You know?
I really started analyzing comedy. And I took some classes. I took some courses. I'm in right now. I took one in Hamilton, and I'm going to take one in Toronto. So I'm always learning.
Amazing.
And I'm always, And there's things that sometimes... You can't teach funny. Like, I'm already funny.
For sure.
But now how do I make the crowd that just walked in laugh that I've never even met? Right?
Yeah.
So, like, when I produce my own shows, I'm kind of not cheating, but I'm kind of stacking the deck. Because a lot of the people I kind of already know, their background, they're friends of so-and-so. A lot of the tickets are sold by the comedians and my friends, and you know what I mean? So it's usually a certain minded group of people that I kind of know what they're into. I know that they're, this class of person, and you know what I mean? So I can kind of cater my comedy to the crowd. But what if I go do a spot in Yuck Yucks, right? My second last time that I performed was at Yuck Yucks, and I don't know who's walking through the door, right? I don't know who's coming through, so I got to be ready and right off my first opening line, by the reaction I get, I know if I'm going to go this way with my comedy or this way with my comedy, or if I'm not going to do any of that and just ad-lib because I got to control the crowd because something's going on.
Yeah.
That's
really cool. It's like you're reacting in real time. You're being valuable. You're
comedy is the hardest thing I've ever done, and I've been working with special needs for 25 years. Yeah, I work construction, so buddy, it's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah. Well, okay, first of all, because again, it's hard to predict how to make people laugh. It's you have obviously a lot of us live in our own worlds, so we think we're funny, right? But then you go to test it out on people, and you're like, this guy's not even funny.
And here's the thing too: whatever we're seeing on our algorithms or whatever, it might not be the same thing the other person's seeing. I've seen people have been sending me stuff, reels and stuff. Buddy, I seen those reels last year. And they're sending it to me now. They're only, you know what I mean? So TV shows and stuff. I'm not really up on the TV shows because I'm not really watching cable.
Yeah, because you're busy.
I'm busy. I'm got
purpose now,
right? So yeah, that's basically thing. But if you, for your listeners or whatever, for people who want help, or if you know someone who needs help, fucking communication's huge. And I've had people after a show, because sometimes after the show I'm like, hey, listen, support people with mental health awareness, and if you guys ever need anything, I'm always here to talk. You know what I mean? And I've had people come after a show and say, listen, my son, this and this and this. I'm like, holy shit. And I hear it and I'm like, wow. Okay, so listen, this is what works for me or people I know, but it can go either way.
Yeah.
Because it's all on the person, right? Some people, like my brother, I talk to him, and if I raise my voice just a little octave too much, he stops listening.
Yeah.
He stops listening right away.
He's built that.
He's
little
built that
filter boundary now. He's
for
got
whatever reason. As kids, he used to be a bad kid. He never used to listen. So boom. So then he goes off. So what do you got to do? You got to wrestle the fish again. You know what I mean? You got to slow dance him in.
Lower the drag.
Let him like swim around, and
Yeah,
he starts going on his rant about God and Jesus and all this stuff. Meanwhile, he doesn't even talk to his own brother. But that's okay. That's another. You know what I mean? And then I got to deal with this. It's a mental illness. Like, I know what mental illness looks like.
Yeah.
I know what it looks like, and it's tough.
And people are walking around every day believing that they're fine. You know. But and again, that's not knocking on anybody.
No.
Again, like I said earlier about the awareness, when you have awareness, you know, you can go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset once you're looking at yourself constructively, you know, and look at yourself and be like, man, I need to change this. This is not doing me any good.
Yeah.
And I can make the changes. You said it already. You have to be ready. You have to make that change, and you have the power. You mentioned earlier about the higher power. Listen, I'm open about it. I totally believe that everything in this room, everything's energy, right? And we attract the energy. But where does this energy come from, right? Like why were we created? Where, you know what I mean? All this stuff, right? So if you follow the Bible or anything, Jesus explains it all in his scriptures, talking about himself, like talking about how we can heal ourselves, and we can do it from our inside, diving deep inside of us. And you mentioned that, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, because we don't have to, now we can eliminate the Bible stuff, and we can just say, man, the power does come from within you.
Oh, 100%.
And that's where, when you realize you have the power, and you have the power to create your own life, because your mind creates your reality. Your thoughts create your reality.
Is there? And if you hear this and then go on bend your back, go on bend your knees, baby, shake it to the max. So the DJ please turn up the bass to the max. Please just rewind, let me shake it to the max. 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 Please just rewind, let me shake it to the max.
Bad man, she love.
When I was getting better, or living my life, so I struggled probably 20 years of my life, right? And there was a little break for a little while, and then I came back for it, and it was about 20 years of struggling. And I would say, out of every 50 people that I knew, maybe one out of that 50, maybe, or two, were like, oh, you know, you should stop what you're doing, we should help you, or whatever, you know what I mean? So, you know, 5% of the people that you know might want to help. The rest of them are like just there because of that.
Because of that.
You know what I mean? And
they're not real friends, right?
Buddy, I used to have...
and we had this talk, remember a long time ago?
My house was a revolving door. Revolving door. I would see people every day. I'd see some people every week. And then it gets to the point that people don't even know where I am. And no one even like...
Well, this is when so I remember this conversation. I don't know if you remember it too well, but I said to you, I'm like, well, where are those friends when you got kicked out and you had nowhere to go?
Yeah.
You know, and you called and you said to me, you're like, yeah, man, I made calls and nobody picked up, or they oh yeah, sorry, dude, I can't right now.
Yeah.
Like, and that must have been like a huge eye opener of like looking at how fake people are, because a lot of people are fake.
My grandmother used to say, my grandmother lost her husband. My grandfather died very young. I was like a year or two old when he died. And she used to say, franges for windows and doors. she spoke bad English. She'd say, instead of saying friends, she said frange, right? And frange are for windows and doors. She would say, your only friends are your teeth. And when they hurt you, even you get rid of those. Yeah. And I was like, holy cow. But this is a woman who, her mother passed away young. Oh, so the father, my great-grandfather remarried. My great-grandfather, so my family, the name, it's actually a very old, very powerful name. So Couto in Portuguese is cut. It's to cut or sever, right? So we used to sever the lands. So the very first original Portuguese on the island, the Azorians, my blood is 100% Azorian.
Wow.
Right. There's no well,
it must have came from the continent, no?
Well, I don't know. It's Azorian. It doesn't say Portuguese. It says Azorian.
Okay.
So it's the original, the very first Portuguese that were ever settled. So the Coutos, they were the people who divided the land.
Gotcha.
So just think, because that's how far back the family name goes. The name is their job.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Because you know how it was.
For sure, yeah.
That's how the name was the job. That's why, right? So at both sides of my family are Azorean. So I'm 100%. I might be Atlantean. You never know.
Hey.
So friends, my grandmother used to say, Frams is for windows and doors. And it's true, because when the times are good, you have lots of friends. But then you really see who your friends are when times are tough. You know what I mean? Let's be frank. I've started over.
Own a way to live. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, let's be frank. I've started over a few times already in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm already 47. Sorry.
I'm not too far behind.
Yeah, I'm already 47.
On,
I'm a 4 and a 7.
say,
Okay,
you have to show the viewers
right?
that you can.
Jesus.
You can be comfortable with yourself. Come on, tell the viewers.
Woo,
you're
the time
comfortable
is
with it.
flying. I was 20 last week, man. I just felt like I was 20. So,
Still feel good, you know. I know.
and so I've started over a few times, usually because of breakups. And that's how it is. And so starting over, you see who's on your side and who's on their side, and who was a friend and who doesn't even care, and who was only there for both of you, and who's there just because, you know, they got stuff out of you. So you really see who cares and who doesn't when you're in time of need. You know what I mean? Your friends, you know, how many friends you really have. And I think this whole situation, my whole life, everything came down to, like, you could only really count on yourself. You can really count on yourself. I have like 1-2 friends that have been there the whole time since the beginning. You know, a few friends that have come back. You know what I mean? But I mean, you really can only count on yourself. You know what I mean? Because everyone's got their own problems and their own lives and everything. Like, no one really cares what's happening in your life, except unless it affects them, or unless they're one of your haters. Because, you know, that's the one thing.
They want to see your demise.
Yeah, and they'll even rub it. But I've had people message me stuff like, haha, you know what I mean? Like, wow, like, what are you doing?
You know what?
Like, but anyways, any publicity is good publicity for entertainment. I don't
That's
really
what they
care.
say, right?
That's what
Yeah.
they say.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad that I was on this guy's mind until 9 o'clock in the morning, or until, you know what I mean? And probably, I'm sure this person went around preaching the gospel of Brian Couto, right? So it is what it is. I don't care what people say. I don't care what people do. I know who I am. The people who really know me know who I am. I just got to keep moving forward. I know what I'm doing is special. And I'm sure that I'm rubbing some people the wrong way. And they would love to see me fail. And I wouldn't doubt if they would plant some seeds or make some things happen a certain way to kind of screw me over. Like, I get it. I'm ready for it. I kind of know. I just keep moving. And I kind of situate myself in a way that I have just the people I want to be around me. Like, if you don't like me, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I know that.
You don't have to be.
So you don't have to be. I just need 1% of the whole population of the whole world
That's it.
to like me. 1%. That's all I need. And if I have that 1% out of the 8 billion people in the world, I'm good.
There's only one person that needs to like Brian Couto.
Ah, me.
And that's all you fucking need to
And it
worry
goes
about.
for you and you and you.
See, and this is where I want to point out, if you are worried about what people feel and what people think, you're always going to be bounded in shackles by those opinions, what people feel, what people think. Brian would not be sitting here in a Canada fucking varsity fucking jacket.
With a shirt of myself,
You know what I'm
wearing a
saying?
shirt of me.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, these are available for $20. You guys give me a DM on sale. If you just say,
Perfect. We'll put the link-
let's be frank, $20. Don't worry, bang bang.
Yeah, perfect. What we'll do is I'll definitely set the link up. But again, and this is why I wanted to talk to Brian, because you know what, man, you are an inspiration to people to show. First of all, you can get rid of certain habits.
Mm-hmm.
You can alter your life, but then find your purpose, because that is very key too. I love when you said that earlier, because you found your purpose and you found a reason why you avoid being around, because misery loves company. Analogy that I want to use right now: if you're like a little piece of wood going down a river and you don't have control over your direction, well, you're going to get carried by the current. And if you have bad vibes and you have bad thoughts, you're just going to get continue to end up in the wrong places. So really great things, great points, man. Thank you so much for sharing that fucking shit. I absolutely love it. And I think your story is so inspirational. That's why I'm really happy to have you here today, because, man, you reached out to me because when I started releasing my stuff
in the beginning, as soon as I seen that, I was a huge fan. So this is my, I'm a huge fan of what you were doing, because I was like, wow, this is good. And I could see that you're being genuine and honest. It was a little bit rough. I could tell you didn't take classes. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, yo, this is real. And I think authenticity is what we want. I think we lie too much. All the stuff, you can be funny and still be truthful. You know what I mean? You still be inspirational.
But see, when you worry too much about what people think, you try to act a certain way. You're like, oh, I can't talk like this. I need to say,
let me speak in my white voice.
Hi guys, welcome to my podcast. This is what's so valuable about having these connections and these conversations. It's real people talking real.
Correct. And I hope that even if just one person watches this and something clicks about something.
It's not one person. Come on, man.
But even if it was only just one person that watches this and says, wow, and this changes their life or helps them or whatever,
gets them that purpose.
That's all I hope for.
He's in comedy. I wanted to help people, but he's also finding a way to help people while he's doing comedy. So your purpose might not be just that one thing. You might see that it opens up many avenues after you do it. And I think you're right,
100%. And laughter is great medicine. And I'm doing what I'm doing so that we can all feel a little bit better, be nicer to each other, 100%. And just have a good time. So thank you so much for having me, brother.
Yeah. Okay.
Talia, am I getting this right? Yeah? Must be European. Rolls off the tongue. What kind of comedy do you do?
Stand up.
Smart Alec. So you've been doing comedy for a year. You got a bit of an attitude, and you think you're a comic. So is there anything special about you?
Where should mother should तेरी मारी किया जा?
I didn't know you could make voices. That's amazing. You're hired. Hey, what does that mean anyways?
It means I'm super excited to work with you, Brian. I guess, come and watch me on Women in Comedy 5 on October 4th at the Golf Club in Cambridge. Be there, mother.
Let's go.
So Brian, fantastic chat, fantastic sitting down with you. Thank you so much for opening up about your life, even the way we connected. Kind of not the ideal thing, but you know what? In order to help people, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be open about your past, and you know what? I'm sure you can agree that we wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for our past.
Well, right? Of course, and plus, I want to give validation. So you know that when we say things, we're talking from experience. We're not just reading it out of a book. We're not telling you stories that we heard. These are experiences that we lived. We've seen with our own eyes. And if I can get out of it, so can anybody else. If we can overcome certain, I think what we want to do is to show people that you can overcome anything.
And if you follow me already, obviously, like my listeners already do, but you know that story, for example, where I almost quit aviation. Like, that's a huge thing. Like, I hated roller coasters. I had to overcome a fear to be where I am today, and it's such a beautiful thing. But again, thank you so much for sharing your story. Now, I just want to let my listeners know and viewers know where they can find you, where we can get you, where we can follow you, where we can check you out at your next show, kind of thing. So tell us.
Thank you very much, Frankie. This is my plug. This is gonna be my plug. Guys, follow me at
just a butt plug.
I don't like that stuff. Anyways, Frankie, thank you so much for having me on your show.
Hey man, pleasure.
This is for you.
Oh,
I give you. There you go. This is for you, nice. Mr. Frankie.
Oh, I get the Macho Man. Get the Macho Man Randy Savage look.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice. I'm wearing my handle right there, guys. So at Couto_Brian. Yeah. Is that on Instagram, my friend?
That's on Instagram. I also have, if you go Brian Couto, You'll find me on Google. I'm number one on Google, Brian Couto, huh? I'm the most famous Brian Couto you'll find.
Holy shit.
So that, and then I have a YouTube page. Check that out. In Cambridge, our next show, I'm going to be hosting Women in Comedy. And I know you're going to be there. Women in Comedy 5. This is our 5th Women in Comedy.
Really?
We're going to have it at the Galt Club. It's 13 Main Street, downtown Cambridge. You remember, it was so much fun.
We had a good time and a lot of good laughs. And I was actually impressed to see some of the people that were performing were actually their first time. And they knocked it out of the park. They were really good too.
Yeah, we had 2 newcomers that time. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and one of them was a great story. It was somebody that you worked with his dad, I guess, at Hostess.
Yes.
We're not going to share that story because you missed it, folks.
Yeah.
So if you want to get other stories, make sure you're down at this next show. And again, it's actually in Cambridge, kind of tricky, but it's Cafe 13, but there's a little stairway that goes upstairs.
Yeah.
So don't get confused with the venue. But honestly, man, like I'm super excited for the show again.
Yeah,
and
it's going to be
again,
so much fun.
Supporting a friend that honestly just been able to turn things around, man. And that's the kind of people that I want my viewers and listeners to kind of connect with, right? People that maybe don't feel like things can change, but your life can change, and your life can change today.
And the story's not over. The story's not over. It's still going. Every day there's a new challenge, a new struggle, and you just got to keep going. That's what it is, man. That's what life's about, man.
And you have to negotiate with those issues because that's what it is. It's I'm good, man. I know you're there. I hear you. I see you. No, acknowledge them, but then give them a little wave and say, we'll talk to you later.
And trust me, for all the younger people, all the stuff that you worry about now, like is my hair straight and stuff, doesn't even really matter that much when you later on. You'll have bigger fish to fry.
I got a 16-year-old and she's going through that right now, dude. And it's like, but how? Again, you can't talk to people that are not ready. But planting those seeds, that's the best I can do, right?
Yeah.
But again, Brian, thank you so much for joining me.
How could you not notice it making this noise?
Bitch, I'm from Memphis. What you know about me? Big G-L-O-N-A-G-L-E.
So tell me a little bit about you. What are you doing new this year?
So finally, I'm in a position now where work is going fantastic. I achieved my goal of becoming a captain at my level.
Nice.
And I'm super excited, super proud. I fucking worked hard, guys, and I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for the mindset change and just getting rid of behaviors and all those kind of things. But one of the behaviors I'm going to focus on now when it comes to helping people is going to be sex addiction. I know it sounds crazy, but guys, if you're listening, you know what it's like. You know when you're talking with your boys, it always comes down to who's macking what's going on, that sort of thing. And at the end of the day, man, it's the lack of respect. Like a lot of guys say there's crazy women out there, but we're not taking accountability. We're the crazy ones because guess what? You're attracting those crazy women.
Some guys have a type. Hey, some of us have a type. Some of us have a type, buddy.
You know what I mean? But
the type the crazy ones. Wicked in bed. Anyways, the crazier they are, they're crazy in bed.
But do you see what I'm saying though? Like at the end of the day,
we're gonna work on this.
But again, like the crazy is the person. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You attracts 100%.
Like. I don't even like girls anymore. I'm just telling you.
There you go. He's changed so much, so he doesn't even like. That's why you brought the strap on.
Oh my god!
I was wondering why you brought that.
You suck one dick in college, you're a dick sucker for life. Like, come on.
You know what I mean? Okay, but anyway, I love it. I think it's hilarious, but at the same time, it's also a pretty serious topic, and we got to start showing more respect because since I've been launching it on my Instagram as well. I've had a lot of women reach out to me, and there's a lot of women that are really hoping that men do step up and try to help other men become better men.
Yeah, at least you're hearing it from Frankie Knuckles and Brian Couto. Come on,
Frank the Skank. No, more so Frank the Skank.
Yeah.
Listen,
he was referred. The guys called him Frankie Knuckles. The girls called him Frank the Skank. I'm just saying. So
and even some of the haters
from experience.
And the haters.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, again, it's not because I roll in and I think I'm the shit. You know what? It was a disease. It was an addiction. You know, kind of what we talked about earlier. I had an addiction myself, and it was validation, seeking validation in other places that didn't do me good. At the end of my life, when I lost my marriage and I lost other relationships, it was because I didn't know how to be in a relationship. And it came down to being in a relationship with myself. So guys, that's what I want to help with. I know there's so many. Look at the CEO from the there's so many of
that
those.
that was an office outing, first of all.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
What the heck?
You know? And listen, Frankie, this is coming from Frankie Nugs. Bro, a true player for real, you should have never moved. Because by moving and ducking out of the way, you
not
busted
cool.
yourself.
I would have been like, and like covered my face
Not
up like
even.
this quick.
The number one rule in the player haters book was deny.
That wasn't me.
You turn your head and you pretend like you didn't even see yourself.
Yeah,
and you're just like, wow, look at that.
No, not even turn your head. Just fucking
That's what Brian would have done. But coming from Frankie Nugs, I would have turned my head, pretend like, and if somebody was saying, yo, I saw you at the concert, I'm like, no, I wasn't at the concert.
Man, that's another handsome guy.
I was at a work outing. But there you go. There you go.
I was at work.
At the end of the day, you think you can get away with that shit, but fucking life has a different story for you.
It always catches up, bro. It always. What do they say? The lies have long legs and get there quick, but the truth has shorter legs, but it'll get there.
It'll get there.
It'll get there again.
And so the reason why I'm motivated to do this, because we touched on it earlier about the Jeffrey Epstein list. All those men that are on that list are weak men. They've given into their urges. They got seduced by
allegedly. Take it easy. That's another podcast for another day.
Listen.
Allegedly.
No, there's not.
Know, in case any of my sponsors are listening, allegedly.
Weak men, guys, and we don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
All right,
You know,
we need strong men. And look at this: strong men forge their path, forge their purpose, and they help others.
Yeah,
and that's what makes stronger men.
And just to add to that, it's because when you're an adult, right? When we're kids, we have someone to keep an eye on us. Teachers, parents, whatever. When you're an adult and you're a man, you don't have someone to babysit you. You don't have someone to keep you in check. So you have to keep yourself in check. That's why a lot of people think of the higher power, because they're always being watched, right?
And it feels
and
like
so you feel like, so it's a feel to keep yourself in check.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do, just
that.
remember you got to keep yourself in check. That's what it is, being an adult.
Because if you don't, you allow your addictions and your urges to control you. And if you don't have control of you, you don't have control of anything in your life.
I have a friend of mine who slept with a lot of. I have a few friends that slept with a lot of women, and both of them, they both told me the same thing. It was like, you know what? Yeah, sure. In the beginning, it was awesome, but then after, it was almost like they're just having sex to have sex. They were like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, and for me, I think that's a great problem to have. But for somebody who lived it, they're like, yo, it's not. You know what I mean? It's empty. Right.
I can relate because I'm one of those guys. Like, I don't even know my number. Not that that makes a difference, but that kind of builds the context. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It started to become so empty that now I see girls almost as cookie cutters. And what does that mean? It's like every girl wants to be fucked the same way, like in a porn. Pull my hair, slap me, choke me. It's the same shit.
Which girl? I'm sorry. I'm still working.
At the end of the day, like, it just feels like I'm not connecting with who I am, who I want to be when I want to connect with them on a deeper level. That is one of the most beautiful things that you can do with your partner. And if you're just going around giving that away and just doing it for the sake of doing it, and I got the moves, and I know that this, I know the tricks, and I know the whirly things, but that doesn't mean shit if I'm not connecting with that person.
And see, you're also going to get it from my point of view, because I've never had like a one-night stand. I've never picked up at the bars. That wasn't me. I'm a person, like, I have to like get into your head. I got to know who you are. I got to know what you like. Or I can't even, it's not even, like, I gotta know you for me to even get that connection. So it's weird. I don't know, some but and for me, that's...
And I think for me, like, I know it might not look like it, but back in the day, I always was looking good, hairstyles, dressing nice. You know what I mean? I dress for success. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I dress for women. Like, I could even argue that most guys right now that get the tattoos and the arm sleeves and all the fads, you're doing it to get laid.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're doing it to get attention. And that's what I'm saying. If you're not in control of your urges and your addictions, you're not in control of your mind.
Not to say tattoos are bad or whatever.
No,
We're
not to
that.
say.
We're
I'm just saying, like,
everything is the same. Whether you drink too much coffee, whether you eat too much, whether you don't take care of yourself, whether you take care of yourself too much, all that stuff. It's all about urges and control, and you got to be self-aware and all these. And these are all things.
Be careful, and to touch on that, to be careful who you're doing it for. If you're doing it for yourself, that's one thing, and all the power to
100%.
you. But if you're doing it because you want to look better, you want to join the fad. Listen, and to go back on your tattoo, I'm not hating on tattoo, but I know people that put tattoos of very significant things in their lives. That's beautiful. And you know what? We have our avatars, and we should all be expressive in our own way. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
what I'm
exactly.
talking about is what are your
Why
Why are your decisions and
Why
what's driving you? So anyway, folks, I don't want to get too much into it, but I will obviously down the road. But I definitely want to see a better level of man. If we heighten that standard and that goes throughout the community, well, guess what? Everything improves.
Everything you do to do better in your own society. If you think your society is corrupt or sucks, or what are you doing to change it? What are you doing to change it? Because everything is controlled by us anyways, right? Someone's messing with that, that's why it sucks. So fix it. Everybody work together, fix it.
And we're better in numbers at the end of the day.
100%.
Because there are,
don't be afraid of what people are going to think if
bureaucracy.
you're speaking your mind either.
Yeah.
Because you know what? There's other people in the room that are thinking the same thoughts, but maybe we're scared because the narrative is not that.
100%. And
right?
that's a very valid
because
point.
I took media I took marketing and stuff in school, so I know how this stuff works. I know that you can do a certain perception and make things look a certain way. And I know who's paying the bills. You got to follow the money. But anyways, we're getting off topic. I had a great time.
Again, it was a huge pleasure. And again, that's kind of what I'm working on now, folks. And listen, I just want to level up my society. I want to level up men. There's also lessons that you're always learning.
100%.
It's not like, no, listen, man, I'm attracting great women. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm attracting bad women. I'm attracting great women. But it's that level of connection. It's not surface level anymore. You know, you could look good. Your Instagram could be great. You could have the finest ass in the world. That doesn't last for me anymore. You know what I mean? That lasts for me. That gets you through the door maybe. But that, if there's no substance behind that at the end of the day, and if your character is not, on the same level as mine, if you wouldn't stop in the middle of the street to help somebody, then I'm sorry, like that doesn't suit who I am today because God has blessed me with so much and the ability to create the life that I have now that I am no better than nobody else.
Yeah, and just for the record, I'm looking for an 8 with the enthusiasm of a 6.
I don't know what that definition means, but maybe we'll maybe you can reach out to him directly and ask him.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, without getting too far off topic, I know there's a lot of great people out there. I know there's a lot of great men out there too, and I know that there's a lot of great men that haven't discovered themselves yet. So I want to work with you guys, and I want you to find your potential and your purpose as well.
Yeah.
Brian's an example. This is why I have him. His enthusiasm, his personality. Fuck, man. Like, this guy lights up rooms. You know what I mean? And why? Because he's authentic. And being authentic is really important. Being shady, you're hiding things. And when you're hiding something, you're not being your true self. So that's what I want to teach. And this is why I have this guy here today, brother. Thank you so much for being here, man. A great fucking interview. Yeah. Love the energy. I'm really happy.
Hey, we're going to do this again.
We'll do this again. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining us. And thanks for joining Let's Talk Frank.